Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer. Today we're taking a look at the Hollywood Rack's Destination 2-bike rack on our 2015 Chevrolet Colorado. This is going to be a more entry-level platform style bike rack. It's going to hold the bike in these trays and primarily by our frame. We've got a cradle with a strap wrapped around the frame, as well as two wheel straps at the bottom, pulling the bike down and in. Now, this gets a pretty good hold on the bike too. There's not a lot of movement of the bike within the bike rack, although because the bike rack is a more entry-level option, it's not as sturdy as some other things that you might see, so there is a little bit of shake at that pivot point. But overall, it gets a good hold on the bike, and I trust it going down the road. Now, it does have a 35-pound weight capacity per bike, so it is going to be a little bit limited if you do have an e-bike or something. If you're looking for an e-bike or a bike rack that can accommodate e-bikes, I'd maybe check out the Ceres Freedom. That's going to have a 60-pound weight capacity and still be a more entry-level option. And then from there, there's tons of premium racks that can handle e-bikes, but if you want to stay on that entry-level price point, that's the way I'd go or start checking out. With frame contact, you want to avoid carbon frame bikes, but because this cradle moves and rotates 360 degrees, alternative frame bikes are going to be just fine. Now, getting the bike unloaded straightforward, you can press the gray button on the side and just pull out these wheel straps on either end. And from there, we can do the same thing for our frame strap, just being careful that we've got a good hold on the bike when we do this. Now, the reason I'm unloading the bike now is because there's no tilting feature. Some platform racks will have that where you can tilt the rack away from the vehicle with bikes loaded to get access to the back. In this case, it would be to open up our tailgate. Now, with trucks, there are a lot of clearance issues typically. We've had a lot of bike racks work just fine today, but when you're looking for that tilting feature, just keep that in mind that not all options will work. Something I'd maybe look into is the Ceres Super Clamp that tilts and has enough room for the tailgate. What you can do is twist this hand knob, fold this plate back, and actually lower down the center mast. We can use the strap on that cradle to actually wrap around the tray to secure it. And from here, this will give us better access to our tailgate, although it does make contact with the bike rack still, so you can't fully lock it out. This is at least enough, though, to get in, get something out if you need to. I just wouldn't put any weight on the tailgate here because that's going to put a lot of pressure on your bike rack, as well as potentially damaging the paint if it's touching metal. From here, let's get some measurements. Starting with our ground clearance, we've got a reversed U-shaped design here, so the lowest point is going to be at the end, giving us about 21 inches of ground clearance. I think overall that's more than enough to not have to worry about bottoming out. And our distance added to the back, this does sit pretty condensed. It only sticks out 26 inches, which is really great to see. It doesn't add a lot to the back of your vehicle. With bikes unloaded though, if you want to leave this in the hitch, you can undo your hand knob at the pivot point here. It's all threaded in, and you can fold the rack upright, reinserting that threaded hand knob through the newly aligned holes. Now I like that it's threaded because that does stabilize this pivot point quite a bit, so it doesn't shake around as much, and it's going to help just the overall sturdiness of the bike rack. From here, our new distance added to the back is going to be 13 inches. So it does take up some of that slack quite a bit, and it's going to make it a lot more manageable for parking spaces, things like that. With it like this, it gives you good visibility of your license plate still, and good visibility with your backup camera. You still will probably see the bike rack in the camera, but it's not going to totally block it. Moving down to the hitch, it's working with our 2" by 2" receiver tube using the included adapter sleeve, and it comes with a locking anti-rattle bolt that keeps things solid and secure in the hitch. I'd pair that up with a cable lock too, just so you can make sure your bikes stay locked up, but overall, that's going to do it for the Destination 2 bike rack. I think it's a pretty solid option. I like that it folds against the back of the vehicle to save some space, but again, if you're looking for that added weight capacity, check out the Ceres Freedom. Thanks for watching.